So hi, One Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
And oh man, I'm Kyle from Picturesque.
There are some
Perfect.
questions to say about their new EP. If you know, you know. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
It's been pretty positive. We weren't sure how it would be since we're kind of always like veering in a new direction with every release, but it's been overwhelmingly good. So yeah,
Hell yeah,
Oh, yeah.
EP rocks.
Dude, this
thank
EP
you.
is fucking ridiculous. It's been on loop. I love it. Well done.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that. It
I,
means a lot.
I saw you guys with Scary Kids Scaring Kids in 2021, and that was like my introduction to the band and everything. And since then, I've just been patiently waiting for the next release because I was like, I am going to get them on the podcast when the time comes, and we are here now. So very stoked to be
Let's
here.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad to be here as well.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Well, if you know, you know. It's kind of left up to interpretation. The like there's a whole bunch that goes behind it as far as like how do I generalize this without just giving it away? Because that's the thing, we want it to be left up to interpretation as well. But the EP took us like it's been done since 2020 and has taken this long to come out. So that's like one of the things, the struggle getting it out and kind of what we're going through as far as like just trying to roll out stuff faster and just a lot has changed in the picturesque camp in the last 3 years. So uh, yeah, that's kind of part of it, and just the rest is if you know, you know.
All right.
So it's been done for
Since
three
2020.
years.
Yep,
Like, not just like you recorded in 2020, like it's just been done, like packaged and done.
done.
So was it the pandemic that made you hold it?
No,
So what was it?
I can't go too much into detail because I'll piss some people off. But yeah,
Oh,
Fair
okay.
enough.
so
That's all you have to say?
we have we have some team members that changed because of it. So
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, I'm happy it's out now. I'm happy people are able to listen to it, and it was worth the wait.
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Hell yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the CP?
Oh, this one was a little different. So before we would like come in with a whole bunch of ideas and there would be songs that are half finished or whatever, and then we'd like kind of just touch them up. This one we came in with zero expectations, and whatever came out came out. We locked ourselves in a studio for I think it was like 3 4 weeks or something like that. And the way we started it, nobody knew the direction that we wanted to go. And so the producer that we hired, he goes by the artist name of Veins. Check him out if you haven't. But
We love Veins.
Yeah, we
he,
love Vance.
dude, he's so good. I love
Yeah.
Jared. That's just my boy. But so we all sat down and we're like, so what's everybody's vision for the band? And we had this chart that we had like different points on it. It's like I can't remember the exact names, but it's like how dark do you want it to be? Do we want to be more upbeat, pop, rock, all this different stuff? And we would draw our points on the map of where we wanted to be, and we were all in just completely different areas. So we like kind of had to figure out the way to meet everyone's wants and needs to like creatively in this piece. And so that's why the feel of the EP is kind of all over the place. I think it transitions well enough, but every single song does feel like it could be a different genre to us. And that's kind of like the process of it is we wanted to tickle everyone's like creative needs to feel fulfilled with this EP. And that was a big part of the process. And then every day we would wake up, start a new song, and then if we didn't like it, we scrapped it in a new day. We would start a few every day, and then just see what stuck, and then we'd run with the ones that we liked. So yeah, we kind of built a roadmap starting out with like the vibes that we wanted for each song. I think some bands do that, but this is the first time we actually did that for us. So that was a new experience.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, obviously, looking to the future, the next record, EP, whatever, is the goal always to kind of meet everybody's needs, like sonically on each release, or have you guys kind of been able to find that middle ground since this EP?
So far it's always been that. Like we knew that going from Back to Beautiful to Do You Feel Okay? Like going back and listening to Back to Beautiful, we didn't realize how big of a jump that actually was. But still, I like the thing is we all listen to very different things. And it's tough to say like where that'll be going forward. But with this one in particular, we felt like we were at a point to where we started a pivot with Do You Feel Okay? And we weren't sure which way we wanted to take that. But moving forward, it's kind of up in the air. We have some studio time booked, but we already have the songs for it. So those are probably going to be more on the page of what we've geared towards with the last release. And then moving forward, we've talked about just doing a whole bunch of different things that I don't want to ruin the surprises yet, you know.
Mhm.
So it's hard to say if that'll be the case moving forward or not, or if it'll just be we'll do what we feels right for the band at that point.
Fair enough.
Understood. So it sounds like you guys kind of have a very fluid writing process, at least for this EP and whatever you're working on now, because for this EP, you guys kind of had half finished songs and then kind of pieced it together in the studio. But this one, you guys already have like fully fleshed out songs.
Yeah, so the last one we didn't have any songs at all. We literally
Oh,
went in
shit.
blank slate and said we're gonna write them here with everybody in the room.
Mm.
That way it feels like all of us and not just like we're finishing Kyle's song or Zach's song or Dylan's song. So
Yeah.
we wanted it to feel like all of us, and I feel like we accomplished that. But these other ones, we already took trips out to LA writing before this EP even came out because we didn't want to stop the grind, you know, just because we didn't have new music coming out. So we've already went out and taken trips to write everything, but it's the same principle with that one. We did it all in the room with some of our friends and the three of us that write in the band. So hopefully that one still feels as like fresh and as organic as if did. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
All
For
right.
sure. And how did you guys keep kind of the momentum going, like with writing this, whatever you're working on now? Because as you said, you've been holding on to this EP for 3 years. You hadn't put anything out. How did you
Yeah.
kind of move on and start working on something new?
We just got bored. Like honestly, like we're creatives, so
Yeah.
if we aren't constantly working on something to further ourselves or just to use as an outlet, then we get really antsy. So we also like that was why like Do You Feel Okay came out in 2020 and we were already recording again in 2020.
Mm.
That's how we want to do things moving forward
Mhm.
because by the time a record comes out, we've already had it for a year or in this case three. So
Yeah.
we're already ready to just do more and moving forward like after this release we've talked about changing like the way that we do releases and everything else because we want to be more active.
Mm.
And I think things are changing to where that's going to be possible to where it's not currently. So,
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's exciting.
yeah,
All right. Awesome. So what song off this EP took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
took the longest to write. Hopeless. The reason being is we wanted to have an EDM producer on it. So we like shopped around for a little bit and ended up just having one of our friends. He doesn't really produce EDM, but he's like, "Hey, I made a thing. See if this works." And we're like, "Yeah, that's really cool because we don't know how to make EDM, so that's great." So that was the longest to do, and then I ended up having to like track over it after that was sent over because we're rock guys for the most part. So that one took the longest, but my favorite is probably Borrowing Problems.
Mhm.
That one's just like it's a very smooth vibe. I see the face that one. Yeah, is
Funny.
that
That's one
your
of my
favorite too?
favorites too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Dude, so the cool thing with that song is like we went in and it's like, yo, this is a vibe, doing all the like falsetto blended voice stuff, like things that I haven't been able to do on our other releases. But like, yo, that's sexy, but like we went back to try to retrack it all because you just do demo vocals. Well, fortunately we did all the demo vocals with like my microphone that we used for the whole EP. And we're like, yo, these are just it. Like, we're not redoing this. This is the vibe. This is it. So we just like ran with demo stuff in there, and we were just like, this is the song. And so that
Shit.
was kind of a really cool thing. Yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, but Break It All is like a extremely close second for me just because it's a vibe that I've wanted to capture and it's the first time we captured it. It's like a little more punk rock, but like we just haven't done an upbeat song in that like vein, and that was something I really wanted to accomplish. So
All right.
yeah, those two I can't really pick between them.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So for this question, I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off the EP and what it means to you.
Oh God, now you're putting me on the spot.
It's okay. You take your time. Power of editing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to like splice me thinking for 10 minutes out of this. That's not as cool whenever I read it out. I was gonna say the static in my mind, white noise in my brain thing. I thought it was way more clever, but whenever I just read it, it's not as cool.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, to be totally fair, reading lyrics is never as cool as singing it with everything going on behind the track. So I don't think it's going to sound as epic. You know?
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Is there any like meaning behind that line for you?
At the time, there was probably more of it because more meaning than there is now because that was 3 years ago. But that lyric was like basically just meaning that like nothing made sense and just kind of like walking through life and just like not registering anything that's happening and it's all just kind of a blur, but it was just like a cooler way to say it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like whenever you're like the whole thing, the song is like in a relationship that's like you're just complacent and everything is just like mundane and it's the day-to-day thing and it's like almost feels like you don't exist. And so it kind of plays into that because it's just everything's radio static or whatever and just there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. You had mentioned that like when you wrote the song there was probably more meaning than there is now. Like 3 years later, do you still kind of relate to the music that was just put out?
Oh God, I hope not. Because that was a dark time. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean some of it, yeah, like Strange Habits, absolutely, because my brain's just a mess. And that song is just about like or ADHD essentially, and just uh like not being able to focus on anything. Um, and then there's like bits in there of like things that could have possibly caused like bits of trauma growing up and stuff like that. But so I'll never not relate to that one. But good God, if I relate to Break It All again, I did something wrong. So yeah, that one's kind of mean.
Okay, that's such a unique answer because usually when we talk to artists that have had like that gap, they'll like tell us that they relate to the songs although they aren't like that person anymore. So it's interesting that you're just like, I almost don't want to associate with the person that I was when I wrote this song,
Oh, well, the thing is it's not about the person that I was, it's the frame of mind that I was in and the place that I was at in life, and I don't want to be back in that headspace or like in a relationship like that ever again.
That makes sense. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without getting too personal on that. But yeah.
That's fair. Makes sense. So would you be able to tell us where headspace is at while you're creating this EP?
Oh God. So lots of different places. That's probably why it seems like it's like 6 different bands. So there's the headspace as that is how do I make my band happy and get what I want? So the manipulative guy, which we're all in that thing at that point because we want what we want out of the music so that it feels like whatever we want to create. There's also the headspace of I'm about to write about all of the shit that hurts and it's about to be vulnerable me and I'm just about to be like a whiny little runt for a little bit. So there's that. But also you have the like angry side that's in everything to where like we felt like we are creating the same thing over and over and over, which is what Hopeless is about. So like that's the thing. Every single song has a different headspace, but like the headspace of creating in general and that was just chaos because we all wanted such different things and that's how we arrive at what Picturesque is because we're all so far away from each other on the spectrum of what we listen to and what influences us. So,
All right. Makes
yeah,
sense.
sorry if that seemed like rambling, but
It's a
No.
podcast, bro. Ramble as much as you want.
Exactly.
oh, fair, fair,
Yeah.
fair. Good point.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to the EP for the first time? Should I do it in the car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is it workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
Ooh, I mean, yeah, headphones, car, like bump it, turn it up. I mean, that's to for whatever you got, like the reader, Jesus Christ, the listener is most like used to, because like for me, it's really weird, but I specifically love to listen to a record for the first time on AirPods, and the reason is it's what I listen to things at work with. It's the speaker I'm most comfortable with. But whenever I want to feel the music, it's a very different thing because, like, as a musician, as an artist, you listen to music very differently the first time. You're like, now, how did they make that snare sound or whatever? You know, like you're breaking down little
Yeah.
nuances of everything. But whenever I want to enjoy it, it's usually car and, you turn it up.
Mhm.
But yeah, so if you want to enjoy it, then listen to it in a car. If you want to dissect everything, put on headphones and go real deep.
Hmm.
But yeah, if that makes sense. Was that the
Yeah.
question? I don't even know at this
It
point.
is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was exactly the
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
question.
And
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Perfect.
actually, like, question for you, since you mentioned like you'll listen to a song and you like notice things because you're like a musician, and like you'll notice things that an average listener wouldn't notice. So hanging out with one of the artists I work with today, and they had mentioned that like they have like the music that they listen to has to be like totally different from the music they make, because they'll catch themselves like trying to write the song that they are listening to if
Yeah.
it's like the genre they work in. So does that happen for you too?
Not for me because I don't listen to rock and haven't in like 10 years.
Okay.
But
Sure.
also, side note, is that Gravedigger behind you?
That is Gravedigger behind me. Fuck
Let's
yeah.
fucking go. Let's fucking go. Sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack.
All good.
That's my ADD right there. But anyway, what was the question? I straight spaced. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Like when you're listening to music, or like
Mhm.
any musicians around you, have they spoken about like listening to a song of a genre that they are in and like trying to write that song in their head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't happen for me in particular because I don't listen to rock. Dylan is notorious for it, and we like pick it apart. The thing is, we have Zach, which is the like he's a dictionary when it comes to all this kind of stuff, like or dictionary, whatever you want to call it. But he just like is really good at picking out if we're like riding a line of creativity or theft, because I fully believe the greatest artists are just also the world's greatest thieves.
Mhm.
And that's like a pretty well-known consensus in the art community. But yeah, I think everybody rides a fine line with that. But I don't listen to anything close enough to like rock music in general to be able to even steal something. With some of my other guys, we've definitely done it before. I remember, but also my other guys write a lot for other people too. And then they'll show everybody the music, and we're like, "That's just Bring Me the Horizon" or something like that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because that's like what everybody tries to imitate. It seems like first and foremost is that band. It seems so. Yeah, but personally, no. Within the writing process, absolutely.
Okay. Makes sense.
Understood. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Does an acronym count as one word or multiple?
We'll let it slide. Sure. Do an
Okay.
acronym.
ADHD.
Mhm.
That's where I wanted to start.
Oh, okay.
But wait. Actually, I'm gonna start over.
Okay.
Your grandma's favorite. There we go.
Oh,
All right.
I fucking love
Yeah.
Grandma
that.
approved.
Yeah.
Grandma approved.
Oh yeah. So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
Interesting. I feel like all the songs are kind of a different vibe. So like, it's not a feeling of emotion, but just an open mind and like feeling or emotion, man. I mean, while they're listening to the EP, I want them to be pumped on it, you know. So excitement, joy, or sad on the songs that are sad. Just hopefully whatever the songs are trying to make them feel that. But I think that all goes into um, approaching a listen while completely vacant of emotion. So and just being completely open. So the answer is no emotion. I don't know.
No
Yeah.
emotion, but emotion at the same time is kind of what I got from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, while listening or going into?
While listening.
While listening.
Oh, I want them to feel a roller coaster. So yeah, my bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Perfect. So are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this EP, positive or negative?
Yeah, so one of the moments was we were tracking vocals and didn't finish in our first 3 weeks, and then I was doing it at home. Then decided to go snowboarding and broke my ribs, which pushed it back. Like, you know what? So technically, we didn't finish it until 2021 because I broke a rib and couldn't finish singing it. So
That's wild.
yeah, early 2021. But that was notable. So there's that. Also, the engineer that we hired while mixing everything had his hard drive stolen, so we had to redo a bunch of things. So that was fun. Um, I guess that's not really the recording process with any of that, but it's just things that happened. That that's
This is
also
the
part
creation
of
of the
the
album.
yeah, but that's part of the if you know you know thing that I just gave spoilers, but you know
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Part of it. It's not all of it.
But yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, I guess that is probably it. That's all I can
Okay.
think
So, just went like to hell and back to get the thing done. That's all.
Yeah.
Broke a rib, hard
Yeah.
drive stolen, you know how it is.
Yeah. I think that's just basic recording, though, right?
Yeah, it happens
Yeah.
to everybody.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
every record.
Wild shit. All right. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Snack of choice. If I need to stay up, corn nuts. If I am just chilling in the back seat, relaxing, all cool, I would go with those Gardettos, but only the rye chip one. Those things hit, or like hot Cheetos. I'm a slut for anything that's hot, whatever flavored. So there's that.
I think
I
you're
like
the
the spicy
only
stuff.
person keeping corn nuts in business right now because I've never seen a single person eat that shit.
So it's our band then because it's like the thing for some reason the crunch like while you're on long drives keeps you up and it's not like terrible for you. I mean
Yeah.
they're not great for you. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not the worst. But the crunch keeps you awake on long drives. So that's kind of why it became a staple. It's just something. It's like gum almost, but you can swallow it. So I guess. I mean, not to say you can't swallow gum, just wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's that.
Interesting.
But they're not great. So I get your viewpoint.
No, I tried them once, and the crunch definitely did take me by surprise. It was it was a shock for sure. So I can understand how that keeps you awake.
Yeah, it also depends on the flavor of those things though, because like if
True.
you get the plain ones, it just tastes like really bad popcorn.
That's exactly what I got. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's the worst one for sure. But like they have one that's like chili con something that has a little spice to it, and theirs are really good.
Okay.
So
I'll look for
if you
those.
give it another shot,
Mhm.
then I'd go for those.
Okay.
If you like spice, that is.
Yeah, I fucking love spice. So I will.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll look for them. I'll look for them.
Perfect.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
What dish would we be? Oh man, that's a tough one. Jordan would be. I'm trying to think of what foods people would be so that I can make it into a dish. Let's see. I feel like I'm going too far with this already.
No.
Jordan would be mayonnaise, but he doesn't know Jordan would be barbecue sauce, but not spicy barbecue sauce. He would be that really lame barbecue sauce that you get that's overly sweet. Because he can't do spice, but he eats barbecue on everything.
Okay.
Dylan would be candy. So there's not barbecue candy though. Zach would be the corn nut.
Okay, is this a dish or is this just like a combination of random like household items?
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Sorry. Continue.
We're getting
with
somewhere.
your
We're getting
barbecue
somewhere.
sauce corn nuts.
Yeah. I would have to be the hot Cheeto. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take chicken. We're gonna put hot Cheetos on it, but we're going to use barbecue sauce to join it to the chicken.
Okay.
And then how does Dylan play in this? Maybe he's the butter because it's kind of sweet. Is butter sweet?
No.
Butter's not really sweet. He's going to be the candied yams you eat with it because I like his yams. So we're going to go with that. That sounds really gross. But yeah, I don't know that you eat yams with hot Cheeto crusted chicken.
Hot Cheeto crusted barbecue chicken. And corn nuts are in there somewhere.
You know what? Zach's the chicken now.
Okay.
Like that sounds derogatory, but it's not supposed to be. It's just like he's the meat. He's what everybody's drawn to.
Yeah.
I'm literally pulling this out of my ass right now. I've never been asked anything remotely close to this. So, you know what? We're gonna put brown sugar on this piece of barbecue, hot Cheeto chicken, and we're gonna put brown sugar on there, and that's gonna be Dylan. Because he's sweet sometimes. Yeah, we'll go with that. I've made up a dish.
So
you gotta make that now.
Anybody that was listening to this is no longer hungry, which is great.
Appetite's ruined across the world.
Oh no. Oh god.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
With a drink. The drink would be Arizona black and white tea.
Mm-hmm.
The meal would be, I don't know which roll of sushi, but it would be sushi for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't think of, you know what? I'm going with Sunday morning roll. They're not even spicy. I would prefer spicy, but that is like still a go-to for me. It's the one that has smoked salmon and cream cheese, and it is deep fried because we're from the South, so you deep fry everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a volcano roll?
Yes. Which one is that? I know I've had it.
It's the one that's deep fried. I believe it has, oh my god, it has cream cheese in it.
Spicy salmon or spicy tuna instead, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm changing my thing. It's that. That's what I would get. I like spicy salmon better, but I couldn't think of the name of the roll. So yes, volcano roll, 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, that's my favorite roll. So I'm happy.
Let's go.
I'm happy to share that. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Nice. Let's go.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh God. There's a lot of stipulations that come into this. All right. So I wouldn't be able to bring anything back, I'm guessing, because if I'm doing a little isekai thing right here, then man, I would love to try nerve gear, but that's not a good answer. I'm gonna be really lame here. Just probably like Naruto World or something. No, I wouldn't want to do that. Dragon Ball Z, my luck, I'd just be like a regular civilian that gets their car blown up. This is way too difficult. I'm like overthinking everything. Maybe be an overlord. That would be cool. That might be a fun one. It's an isekai where like, wait, so that means I'm in a world within a world. That's deep. But it's just it's a dude in a video game that he got stuck in a thing. If you know what an isekai is, they're just all anime where people like get stuck in another world. And in that one, I changed my answer. Fairy tale. I want to be in the fairy tale world. That would be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, because then I could have magic because everybody has magic, and then I can't miss.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I love it.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Gray.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Go stream if you know you know. It's on all of the streaming platforms you can think of. We've got a Discord that we all hang out in, and we play games with everybody. We've got like way too many people to play games now, but we're still going to do it because we love chaos, apparently. But yeah, join the Discord, join Patreon, join all the things. Be on the lookout. We're trying to grow all of our social media and get more followers on all that. So go check that out. Did I forget anything? Go stream the things. I think that's like all of it.
Yeah.
Good. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for now. This has been Kyle from Picturesque, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.